This is FilmWise with Black Belt Dragon, and let me tell you, the Fast and the Furious series are awesome! Furious 7 was directed by James Wan and starring Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. Now, let me tell you, I'm not a huge fan of the Fast and Furious series, but I definitely do know them. Check this out. This is literally the entire Fast and the Furious series on Blu-ray. Now, of course, you're probably expecting me to start with the story. Well, here's the thing. I am not going to be explaining the story of this movie because I feel that all of you need to watch the previous films before jumping into this film, because it is definitely required. Because let me tell you, for a series of fun and entertainment, let me just tell you, for some reason as it went on, it somehow got a little bit complicated. I will briefly give my thoughts on the previous films just very quickly. The first Fast and the Furious film was kind of a good flick. I found some parts to be a little bit boring, and also it kind of felt like a little bit like Death Race 2000, which actually really much inspired this film, but I thought it was good overall. The second film was pretty much a decent sequel. It wasn't as great as the first film, having not most of the cast in that film and just Paul Walker. I mean, it was trying to bring something new to the idea, but it didn't execute that too well. I thought at the time when I watched this it was going to be my favorite film of the series, but it wasn't. That was the third film, Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. And let me tell you, I love all the imagery that's in this movie. The racing was amazing, the cars looked awesome, and I felt even the story was simple, it still was incredible to watch. And of course, after that went through, it seems like there was a call through fans. Vin Diesel and also other people who worked on the film wanted to know what would the fans like from the series, and one of the major things was to bring the characters back. And so that was Fast and the Furious 4, or should I say Fast and Furious. Now, let me tell you right now, I'm kind of a little bit sick of the title changes, because when they stopped numbering the titles, I mean, I thought that was going to be just simple. At least they're going to keep the title. They literally have different titles for each of the movie, and it was pretty weird and strange. But to this film, the fourth film, I think it's, darn good. It's not great, but I do think it was a good start film. Now, of course, the next film was called Fast 5. Now, let me tell you, this film, and my personal thoughts, I thought it was incredibly boring. I didn't find anything interesting in it, and even though there were cool action scenes and the story was actually pretty well done, let me tell you, I just got bored. I'm not even kidding. I literally fell asleep while watching the fifth movie, and people said that this is one of the best in the series. It even says that right there. Yeah, best in the series. With Dwayne Johnson is not enough to make this, a film to be awake for. But of course, the sixth film, The Fast and the Furious 6, yeah, so it went from Fast 5, which at the time I didn't even know was a Fast and the Furious movie, to The Fast and the Furious 6. Literally, these movies are very inconsistent with their titles, and they start numbering them, then stop, and then number them again, but somehow put edgy new titles that we don't even know if it's the same movie. I mean, obviously, yeah, when you actually think about it, it really, doesn't matter now, since nowadays people know. But, at that time, I just didn't know that there were that many films. But, okay, my personal thoughts on the sixth film, I thought it was better than the fifth one. It's definitely well worth your time. It's an exciting way, I thought, to end the series, but that had to be led to Fast and the Furious 7. or just Furious 7? Well, at least I knew that was a Fast and the Furious movie, or else I'd be complaining again. Okay, now let's begin with the good aspects of Furious 7. The good aspects of what I like about the film is the action. Now, the action in the movie, let me tell you, it's awesome. Even if there's scenes where there's a little bit of CG in there, but I thought a lot of the action in the film was well done. Let me tell you, I think they pretty much got a lot of action scenes that many people found tiring to be exciting again. Like, this literally destroyed the mind of what Michael Bay to bring action to be boring. This brought excitement to action again, and let me tell you, it's a wild ride. The characters, all of them are back, and let me tell you, it's pretty amazing to see them again. I wouldn't say that they're good acting. I mean, I can say that they're, you know, as much as they can. They're just having fun. And that's what this movie is. It's just a fun, good time. If you want to fill your mouth with popcorn or while choking yourself and getting your Pepsi or any of your drinks, let me tell you, you're going to be having a very good time watching this movie. It's just a fun ride. Just pretty much a fun ride. And like I said, with the characters, they are good characters. I don't think their performances, Vin Diesel, he pretty much stopped acting ever since the first Fast and the Furious film and other films beside that. And I thought that Paul Walker was very decent. Even for what happened to him, I still think he was, you know, very fine in this movie. I had no problem with him. Dwayne Johnson actually was pretty impressive. Even though you don't really see him much. I think pretty much everyone knows that you don't really see too much of Dwayne Johnson in this movie. But pretty much, yeah, he's awesome of what he does. Now, the humor in this movie actually has been improving through the films. Now, I love the jokes and things they say about the movie. Some of them can be very corny jokes, but others can be hilarious. And let me tell you, the comedy in this film is very good, and you will be laughing like crazy. Even if you think something's over the top and you laugh at that, at least you will also be laughing at the good jokes they have in the movie. One in particular joke in the movie is about that, this is a little bit of a plot in the movie, so be prepared, there's a little bit of a spoiler here. What here is, I don't think it's too much, but it's a little bit of a spoiler. There's this one point where they find the hacker that involving the big project in the movie, where when they find the hacker, it's very interesting to know that the person who's the hacker, and it's that person. Because when you watch, if you've watched the entire series and obviously know what I'm talking about, and when they find the hacker, let me tell you, it's a hilarious joke of like what the hacker looks like in this movie. Like, this is supposed to be a computer geek in this movie, the hacker, and it's pretty darn funny of what you find out about the hacker. Pretty hilarious. Now, of course, the one thing that's great about the Fast and the Furious film is definitely the car races and the car chases. The car races in the beginning of the movie is pretty simple and good, but then the film just goes crazy. It literally does everything it wants from a car chase, and let me tell you, it's incredible to watch. Like, there are so many like great things. There's like so many great scenes where you see cars going off bridges, or like, you know, there's explosions. Crazy it's just crazy. Like, really, it's definitely awesome. I do also want to talk about the passing of Paul Walker. Now, when people found out how he passed, it was pretty sad, and well, I kind of felt the same way about him. I mean, I enjoyed him in the movies, and he was mostly in every single movie, and I really am sad that he is gone and that he won't be continuing on to these films. From what I've heard, he said that he only finished 85% of this movie, and he did nothing else. And I heard that that they had to CG him like his brother who kind of looks exactly like him, to CG him to make him look like he's Paul Walker. And I really don't think it's that bad. I mean, the CG isn't horrible, but it doesn't look too obvious that that's not Paul Walker. I mean, it kind of is kind of close, but obviously nothing will replace the real thing. Paul Walker was a good actor at his time, and I think he's done good jobs in some of the films that he's done, and I give him a good farewell and goodbye, that he is such a great guy. You know, he's a very great person, he's a very nice person. I've seen him in those movies, and I think it's a very good film to end with for him. Okay, now let me talk about the bad aspects of the movie. Now, the bad aspects of the film I want to start with, even though that the scenes have, like, there's many great action scenes in this film, the fighting in the film is very, the cinematography for the fighting of the film is just, like, not that great, because there are a lot of close-ups in this movie, and I feel like the director really enjoyed the directing of the fight scenes, and probably like Batman Begins, and I pretty much feel the same way, that it wasn't great when they filmed the fights. Like, there were so many close-up shots, so many like shaking, a little bit of camera shake, and I could barely tell what was going on between the fights. I mean, there are some scenes where it's shot for shot, where you get to see every single point of the film, but I did not find most of that to be in the film, and it was just very, I mean, they don't fight terribly at all. They're awesome fighters in the movie, but I just didn't feel it was filmed well. It wasn't filmed well when they, you know, recorded the fighting scenes. And also, while looking at the film, I felt that it was a little bit cartoonish. I mean, for a series that obviously gets sillier by the moment, but somehow gets complicated as well, this movie is literally over-the-top insanity. I mean, for explosions and also very impossible stunts. Like, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen Paul Walker, like, trying to jump off a cliff while he's walking towards a bus that's about to fall off the cliff. Yeah, it's that crazy. And let me tell you, it gets even crazier by the end of the movie. Like, there's so many very impossible scenes by the end of the movie, and it was just a little bit too cartoonish. I just didn't felt like it felt like a Fast and the Furious movie, but obviously it is. It's supposed to be not taken too seriously, and yeah, it's pretty much knows that it's a movie, so you get what you get. Also, if you have seen the previous film, then you probably know the villain. Now, the villain of the movie, I didn't find that bad. I mean, he was awesome while he was on scenes, but I felt that the villain was too invincible. I mean, way invincible. It's like Heath Ledger's Joker invincible. Like, he gets away too easy. Like, really, really easy. And I won't tell you much of that because I'm pretty much gonna spoil everything for you here if I talk more about the film, because but like I said, this film is an amazing ride. It's not to be taken seriously. It's just a good movie that's a lot of fun. It's definitely worth your time. The rating for Furious 7 for me is a B. Okay, Black Belt Dragon signing out, and I'll see you on my next FilmWise. And remember, you mess with this dragon and you'll feel the burn.